Hey everybody, welcome to another session of the Era of the Dragons, our D&D 5e homebrew game. My name is Mal. Most people call me Archangelic. My pronouns are she, her, and I am going to be your dungeon master tonight. Um, I guess we'll start off with our intros. Silver.
Hi, everybody. I am Silver_Bulette, he, they pronouns, and I'll be playing Fencirus Roxlar, a dragonborn rogue and also cleric now, she, her pronouns.
Awesome, Levi.
Hello, I am Levi, he, they pronouns, and today I shall be playing Torsten Pinewalker, the half-elf artificer, he, they as well.
Tara.
Hello, I'm Tara. My pronouns are she, her, and tonight I'll be playing a black chromatic dragonborn wizard named Merlin Hendrix, whose pronouns are he, his.
Jaden.
Hello, friends. My name is Siliqui Jaden. You can find me most places online as Fat Sapphic Bro. I use they, them pronouns, and I'll be playing the tiefling barbarian named Grief. Grief uses he, they pronouns and also uses a combat wheelchair. I'm an ambulatory wheelchair in real life, so that's why I like to play that in game. The combat wheelchair is designed by Mark Thompson, who you can find on Twitter at the username Mustangs Art. Welcome back to our space here at Lantern Light Adventures. This is home to all of our TTRPG and related content on Twitch. All of our games are also uploaded to our Lantern Light Adventures YouTube channel. There's a link to our link tree in the chat that you can click, and it'll take you to all of our various social media pages so you can follow us everywhere we are. If you want to keep up to date on everything we're doing, you can also feel free to join our Discord, which is also linked in the chat. And if you want to play with us or GM for us, you can fill out the TTRPG actual play interest form, which you can find linked in our link tree. And once you fill out that form, I'll email you back with our TTRPG consent form, and then we can match you with games from there. Please understand we can't necessarily accept everyone, as we want to make sure our tables all share a good vibe where everyone will have a good time and feel safe. And it also might take some time to get you worked into a game, but be patient with us and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. On most Mondays, Archangelic and I will be streaming the two of us playing various video games or board games. We've decided to start with Baldur's Gate 3. We've also been being joined by our lovely producer, Polly Geist, and may include other guests in the futures as well. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. And in the meantime, come and hang out with us while we play. On Tuesday evenings from 6 to 9 p.m. PST, we've been streaming An Empty Dream, our Girl by Moonlight game. This campaign is a shorter run, about 15 episodes, so be sure to check it out and come hang out with us while we play. We will not be playing this week, February 27th, but we should be back to it next week, March 5th. Reminder that while we're here tonight, we usually will be taking the last weekend of the month off every month and having no stream that weekend so that we can work on editing and producing more content for y'all. However, March is going to be a bit busy for some of our players, so we will not be streaming this game, The Era of the Dragons, on March 3rd, 10th, or 17th, but we should be back on March 24th. And finally, in support of Palestine, there is a donation link on our Twitch page to donate to Doctors Without Borders. We hope that you will donate whatever you're able as we remain in solidarity for a free Palestine. And that's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you for those announcements. Let's recap where we were. So you had left the village of Rocky Hollow, leaving the late Father Ilum's young daughter Hadwin in the care of Archduke Roxiel. Upon reaching the high road on the way to Rusea, you spotted a large column of the Vosnan army marching towards the fallen city of Zarkan. War has now come in the wake of draconic destruction. You spent the night in the woods, briefly accosted by scouts from the army, ensuring the woods are safe for traveling troops. In the morning, you continued onward and eventually reached the high road construction project outside of Rusea and the end of the roadhouse that feeds the workers on that project. But this also serves as a cover for the restoration and some sort of smuggling operation. You notice that Argus Evernoon, the patron of the roadhouse and also a werebear, was still there and still operating as part of this whole thing. But before you could make too much trouble, you ran into Rami, who politely asked you to accompany him into the walled city of Rusea. You came to an extravagant home, and there Rami revealed that he had been wearing a glamour and that he was in fact Senator Alex Lucelle. So you have all kind of got settled here, and he kind of just he explained a little bit of what was going on, and he sits and asks you, he says, "Do you all have any questions for me?"
I mean, I guess, well, since you have the ability to look around and kind of navigate this area, have you noticed anything in particular of suspicion that we should investigate while we're here?
He says, "There's a lot of things happening. Everything about this situation has brought out opportunists, leeches. It's kind of what we have been meaning to, kind of what we were trying to monitor and make sure that didn't happen. We don't want things destabilizing further, but as with any great tragedy, some people view that as an opportunity. There are forces brewing here, even in Vosna. Hell, even here in the capital, Rusea. Generals are posturing before the Senate, saying that we must go, we must intervene. I have been of the opinion that military intervention would be fraught, but our president seems to have disagreed with me.
Interesting. Okay. We saw someone, and I think we probably talked about this, but the Ramirez, when we were in the southern city, popped in and took a crown that seemed to convert people into a dragon-like character, a dragon-like persona, and seemed to be very distinctly attached. Do you have any information about Ramirez that would be useful to us?
At the mention of Ramirez, he actually seems a little bit taken aback. He doesn't give much away in his look, but it definitely makes him like kind of avert his gaze for a moment to think. And he says, "Ramirez Letheran, the ambassador. Interesting. That is very concerning, but does put a few pieces into place for me. I have to ask you. A lot of things have happened, and a lot has been asked of you and some others who aren't here. But I want to know, how do you want to handle things going forward? What do you want to do? I don't want to feel like I have conscripted you, and I don't want to feel like you are required to do what I ask you. But there, of course, there is always work to do, and I will gladly accept any allies I can gather. But what do you want to do about this cult, about what you know?"
I mean, for me, I can't speak for the rest of the group, but I know that I don't want a large scale amount of suffering. I want to, if we can, take down the cult from the shadows so that there's as little fighting as possible. And beyond anything else, I want this cult to stop corrupting dragons to their own ends.
I fully agree. Discretion is a bit of a priority, but as long as we can, at the very least, drain the resources as fast as possible, then I'll be content with that.
And what of you, wizard? I know that I recruited you. You were around when the events happened, and I know that these folks needed help, so I sent you along. But I mean, you didn't know it was me, though. Somebody with more power than Rami. So I ask you what you would like to do from here on.
Merlin looks over suspiciously and asks, "How do we know that your intentions are pure?"
That is an utterly reasonable question. And the answer is you don't. And I'm unfortunately not in a position to assuage much of that, as dealing in secrets is unfortunately the nature of how I've come to be in the place I am. But here's what I believe. I believe that the peoples of this world should and ideally should live in peace, and whatever borders or disputes should come up should not end up in war. And moreover, anyone who seeks to gain power to subjugate others should be stopped with whatever means leads to the least amount of loss of life. And I work with those things in mind. I might not work in a way that makes people comfortable, and I recognize I possess immense wealth. I possess immense power. I am in the eye of the public here in Vosna at all times. And so I live two lives in that way. But know that that is my goal and my ethos.
Yes, strategizing in the shadows sounds like a good plan.
And grief.
I intend to remain with this party as long as I agree with the overarching mission, and at this point I do.
I appreciate you telling me this, and this is all very good to hear. There's no official membership into the Hand in the Eye. We are a loose group. Collapsing leadership structures mean that we can move very quickly, do a lot of things, and groups like yours are very important to what we do. So I appreciate you. I appreciate that your goals are aligned with mine and ours. So we do have some things that there is something that you can do, and it was a thread that you were already on, but I lost track of you when you were at the Roadhouse last. And then Billy needed your help, and I'm not one to tell Billy no. He gestures to one of the various servants in this place, and he says, bring the gifts. I've been keeping. I knew generally you would come here, so I prepared in advance. I have been working to contact people you've helped, to as kind of a judge of character, and also to gauge your effectiveness as a group. And they come in with they bring them on like trays made of silver, and the first one is brought to you, Torsten. This is from the Crown Princess Ursula, one of Southern Reach. You may not have been aware of this, but she was actually the shadow patron of your endeavors. She was the one funneling money through Billy Bob. And it is a belt of dwarven kind. The Crown Princess has been safely moved away from Zarkan. She's been an ally for a long time. I cannot speak more to that for her safety. The
And
second,
her safety is now a priority of mine as well.
absolutely, and yes, if it ever comes up that she needs you, she has the ability to request whoever she likes. Grief and Merlin and Fen have already helped her once at the casino. You acted as part of her entourage, although there were other missions at work there. Um, Grief, I have a gift for you as well. Well, it's not from me, but um, brings in another belt. This one has a letter though. It is from your friend Afezana. And it says, "Dearest Grief, you have been missed around the shop. When Rami informed me of the work you've been doing, I did my best to make something to keep you safe. This was the best I could come up with. I wish I could have given it to you in person. Be safe, my friend. Yours truly, Afe." And it is a belt of hill giant strength. Fen, I have a gift for you. This one comes in a small box, which is handed to you. It's a tiny little like ring box. And there's no letter attached. He says, "It is from Vitha and her party. I wish I had more news to give you about your friend Gift. But I assure you she is being treated by one of the best magical minds in the material plane." And you open it up, and it is a ring of evasion. It's a small silver band, and it has engraved into it a little hummingbird. Merlin, I have for you. I have come across this. This is from my own personal library, and I don't have much use for it. I don't cast in the same way that you do. But this is, and he brings up the book has just been sitting on the table this whole time. He picks it up and hands it to you, and it's called the Plain Caller's Codex. It contains some spells. I'm not certain that you will be able to cast all of them, but it does have some spells written in there, and gives you has some other magical properties I don't quite understand.
Thank
And-
you.
Of course. I feel that you need to be powerful. You need to be able to control a battlefield in order to help with the things we have in store for you.
Merlin takes his hat off, puts his right hand over his chest, and takes a deep bow. I'm honored, Rami / Alex Lucelle.
You may, of course, call me Rami. Plenty do.
Sorry, what was that?
You may, of course, call me Rami. Plenty do. But it may be strange if I'm not looking like Rami to other people. So maybe we'll keep that between us. And I have one gift. This was said to be to all of you. I have not opened it. I was sternly warned not to. And this one is just a package wrapped in just plain brown paper, rough like twine. And he will just hand it to whoever reaches for it.
Merlin looks at the party and spins his staff and swipes the item out of Rami's hand.
All right, you open this package, and inside of it is what looks to be just like a small plain wooden goblet. But you can feel like just the basest amount of magic like just comes from this. There's something different about it. It's not quite mundane. And there is a letter inside this package. And it is a letter. It's on like full like animal parchment. In this big sweeping calligraphy. It says, "Seekers of peace. The majestic child you call Max has been growing quite nicely. The grove nurtures him, and he nurtures us in his playful ways. His hoard is growing by the day. He requested specifically that this be given from his hoard to his best friends. Oh, to be given even the smallest token from the Horde of a Dragon, a blessing the gods would not even scoff at. Your fellow seeker, Amer. And for everyone, Amer was the leader of the Grove, where you left Galathnimbar, aka Max, the gold dragon wormling. And this will be for anyone who wants to add it to their inventory, a dragon vessel slumbering. Basically, once a day, it can fill up with a certain type of liquid, including a potion of healing. So it's always one potion of healing in reserve. But it's basically an object that has been blessed by being inside the Horde of a Dragon.
Amazing.
Now, Fen, one more thing I have for you. You showed an interest in history when I was briefly explaining it. He pulls out a small glass orb. Probably just you can like fit it in your palm. And he kind of chucks it up into the air and it floats and glows a little bit and says, "Hello, my name is Sylvia." You're muted.
Hi, Sylvia.
And says, "Do you have any questions about the history of Sphera?"
So many. So very many. I will ponder what question I should ask, but boy, that's a difficult one to answer, honestly.
I have been all over the place, learned many things, been told many things. If you are okay with it, I will travel with you and learn more things.
That's fine. Yeah, we can learn together. That sounds great.
Excellent. Alex will say, "This is, they call them a professor orb. People record their musings into them. They learn from them and can tell you all sorts of things.
Hmm.
It knows quite a bit, but of course, as with any study, there are gaps."
It's important to be constantly learning. That is the best way to get more knowledgeable, but to get more worldly, I guess, would be the thing.
I agree. And now, unfortunately, we're down to business. Now that the pleasantries are out of the way, we do know the thread you were following at the roadhouse. You were following. You basically saw that there were, there was a smuggling operation, and they were moving things through an underground tunnel to somewhere else. We do know where that tunnel ends, but what's more important is the next step and where they are storing it. Things are being stored in a warehouse in a small port town north of here, called Galitse. They have a warehouse on the docks, and many items are being stored there. Some have already been loaded onto ships. We have not quite gathered where those ships end up, but we are working on that part. We hope to have you, as a small team, enter the place, retrieve any documentation about the amount of objects, where they're going, any other information about who else is involved in the operation, and to gather that information, and we will be able to essentially move from there.
We can certainly go about some infiltration. We've been known to do that a time or two.
Excellent. Anything else you need, I'm at your disposal, and also here. And he will give you a stone attached to like a necklace, and he says, "This isn't quite a sending stone. Sending stones are a little bit less secure than we would like. So what this is a whisper stone. Basically, whisper in something that you need, and it will go through our networks, and we will attempt to give you whatever you need, but it's one-way communication.
Useful. Gotcha. As for myself, I was gonna, if we were gonna spend some time here, which sounds like we're not going to, I'm trying to get a shield going in my repertoire. I don't deal with a lot of close combat, but I feel like that might be a good way to go. You know?
You require a shield?
Yeah, just a simple shield is all I'm looking for.
That is not a problem at all. And in fact, he will stand up and he says, "I have a small personal armory." And he will go, and you can follow him if you want. He won't stop you, but he stands up and in his elven way glides through his home. And he will come back with a bronze shield.
Mm,
He says, "This is the only one I have that doesn't have my family crest on it.
gotcha.
I feel that would be a little bit too obvious for you.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
This is a relic of the past, but it should work. I mean, it kept soldiers 800 years ago safe. Should keep you safe."
Oh, for sure. That sounds great. Then she'll take it and actually she'll take off the backpack first and see. All right, how do you? All right, easy detachment. Ah, there it is. And she puts it onto the backpack and slides it back on.
Yeah, it's imagine like a Greek hippolyte, like that kind of round shield. So
Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, I don't get into close combat often, but when I do, it's just me and a sword currently. So be useful
well,
to have a shield in one hand.
I hope that ring will help you as well.
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of the ring, may I ask a question about it? Oh, not the ring, sorry. May I ask a question?
Of course.
That was a question.
Yeah.
Regarding the Whisper Stone, how many folks are listening to the chatter, and does anyone respond or take action depending on what the context is or severity?
That's exactly it. It's a one-way communication. Just tell us what you need. The intention of the whisper is important too. And
Mm.
you have to know that this is a whisper stone and whisper to it with that intent. This is kind of a last minute device. When you can't get things normally. We will attempt to work through our network. We have people who specifically listen for these whispers, and we can move that along. There's more people involved in this than you know. While we are dealing with the crisis of the restoration, our work has been going on longer than that, and will probably continue long after. But yes, we judge the severity, where you are, if we can get something to you. Sometimes we have availability for a speedy courier, a spell, but not always.
Excellent.
Yes. You all have time to attune to these weapons, to attune to all these items. For Merlin, the item does list some spells. You can add those to your spell book. I don't think it automatically does it. I was looking at that earlier. So there are some spells that you cannot cast yet in that item. Just be aware of that. So
Mm.
What was the name of the item again?
that is the Plain Colors Codex.
Plain, Plain?
Yeah, I am dropping it in our Discord channel so that you can see the spelling.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so if you're welcome to stay here. We should move swiftly, but of course there is no, you don't have to do it tonight. But I can provide a cart if you need that. It won't get you there much faster, but it'll at least be more restful to go that way.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Well, thank y'all for the subs and the donation.
Yay.
So, what would y'all like to do for right now?
I mean, I think maybe at least Fen probably wants to stay the night if she can, and then go from there. Try to get to infiltrating.
Awesome.
Torsten also doesn't want to spend more than a night here, but if he can sneak away for a few hours, he'll try to just familiarize himself with Versailles, especially if there's like a working class district. It's kind of like work his way around that, see if there's any big problems that could use some attention.
Yeah. Give me an investigation check.
All right. Investigation. Let's say 16.
A 16. Okay. So, with a 16, so the Versailles, so there's a little bit outside of the walls, but not much outside the walls. To the north of Versailles is the district called Red Spring. And that's where not only are there like natural springs there for clean water, it's where like baking the bread for the entirety of the city happens. And that is kind of the main focus here. Goods come in from outside, from the farmlands into the city, get processed, baked into bread, feed the city, feed the entirety of the region. And this is elven bread. It's very high quality. It, while these are considered working class people, it's definitely an art that is happening here. So, in as much as elves have a working class, they live so long that they tend to find their niches like this and live fairly comfortable lives. But with the 16 and one night here, I would say that the main problems in Versailles are now that. So, what kind of problems are you looking for? I guess is the question. So,
Sort of like if there is a problem with resources or like equipment that isn't doing what it needs to or is endangering the workers of the product.
yes. So, um, that there's definitely some things that you see that with your expertise in machinery and things that are being, maybe because there's less people here, that some people have been conscripted into that army that you saw. There are some things that just aren't getting maintained the way they should. You see some of this like milling equipment hasn't been maintained the way it should because other people are working more on other parts, making the doughs and things, but like the mills are starting to become in disrepair. It's not something that's going to be of immediate danger, but eventually, like if these kind of shortages of workers and things last longer, people are going to get hurt because things aren't getting maintained the way they should. So it's definitely something. Yeah, go ahead.
Torsten will just make note of that and will kind of dwell on it as he goes back to Rami's place and just turns in for the night at some point.
Okay. Is there anything Merlin or Grief you want to do?
Grief will probably attune to the belt and spend some time writing in his journal.
What do you write in the journal? If you
So just some like general notes of things that we have been doing, some key events and things like that, and then some notes of some things specifically to his daughter about things that he has seen that have like reminded him of her.
Awesome. Merlin, is there anything you want to do tonight? You're muted.
Merlin would like to find the most lush patch of grass and sit there cross-legged, meditating, preparing for what is ahead, and essentially knocking on the sky and listening to the sound.
Amazing. That's easy to do here. The accommodations in this home are lush silks and cottons and large beds. Each of you have your own room in this massive home. The garden is not as large as some things. Like this isn't a country estate. This is a city home. So, but it's one of the few places that does have a yard. It has a curated garden in the back, clearly kept up with, some sort of nature magic. Maybe they have a druid on staff. Someone who maintains these trees and gardens and pastoral grass. It's a lovely place to spend the night meditating. So
Merlin jumps with glee and is so grateful for the luxuries we are being afforded.
and in a way, that this may be the last time you get this kind of comfortable digs. Like you've been sleeping rough for a while, and this is definitely a reprieve from all of that. So, Merlin, I want to ask, have you rolled your portents?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, so remember, every day you get to roll 2d20s, keep those results, and you can swap out any d20 roll with one of those numbers.
And not just his own role, like anybody's role, right?
Anyone's roll. Bad guys, your teammates, yeah.
Oh, it's such
Oh.
a good one. I love that one.
Because you kind of peer into the future a little bit, and you can see things as they're supposed to be.
I see.
You are a divination wizard. I am correct in that, right? Like,
This is true.
so yeah, make sure to roll those 2d20, write down the results so that you can use them. So
Thank you.
it's a very important part of your skill set. Yeah, I was listening back and I'm like, Merlin hasn't used portents. I'm like, do you know you have them? That's
Nope.
okay. D&D's a complicated game. That's fine. Excellent. So you overall have a restful sleep, and you wake up feeling refreshed. Breakfast is prepared. Elven cuisine is very light and almost dainty, like egg white omelets, little cherry tomatoes, very crusty but airy bread. But you are served a wonderful spread of food in the morning, and Rami joins you in his glamour because he's going to help you get your horse and everything set up, and he'd rather not be seeing you off as senator. So
That makes sense.
you are so, and he says, if there's anything you need before we head off, please let me know. But I will be bringing around your cart here soon.
All right, will do. Think we should be good. We just have to figure out the best plan heading forward. And that also might, depend on what the structure looks like.
I'm sorry I don't have more information on that to give you, but you'll see it soon enough. So it's only a half day's journey from here. So he will leave. He will bring around the cart. You are given it's a pretty, you have like a Clydesdale horse, like it's a working horse pulling a cart. This isn't anything ostentatious. It's you can tell it was been used to like pull hay and things like that. So into town. So but yeah, it's a very simple cart. And if there's nothing else, we can just like cut to the action, as it were.
Definitely.
Love that. Okay. So you make the day's travel through the Vosnin coast is gorgeous. There are sections of cliffs that go into lowlands as you kind of roll through. And you come to one of the northern harbors of Vosna, Galeth say. And it is a very small town, um primarily fishing and things like that, but you do see that amongst the fishing vessels in the harbor below is a larger sailing vessel. And you see a group of mostly humans, but a few lizard folk helping unloading and loading things. And as we get into this part of it, because I'm about to pull up a map and let y'all take a look at it, let's go ahead and take a break real quick. So we're going to take a quick 10 to 15-minute break, and we'll be back soon. See y'all soon. Welcome back, everybody. Last we left off. Levi, you wanted to do something.
Correct. As we roll closer to this warehouse, Torsten will like lean over to Grief. Listen, I don't take this the wrong way, but you draw a lot of attention to yourself with the purple and all that. So on the way to Vriseya, I worked a little something, and he will actually reveal Grief's coat. But instead, where there would be like a drawstring around the shoulders, it's a metal cord, and where like a clasp or like where the drawstring will connect, the little metal bit has a draconic rune on the back, and engraved in the like front-facing part is an elven phrase which roughly translates to "out of sight, out of mind." And for the folks at home, one of Torsten's infusions is now a cloak of elvenkind.
Fantastic. Thank you, friend.
I thought it'd be useful. Turned out to be pretty good timing.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. I do tend to draw a lot of attention to myself. So, no offense taken.
Good.
Awesome. So, also, Torsten, roll a D100.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. 14.
14. Well, you don't have a beard today.
One of these days.
Can't wait. Can't wait for the beard.
It's gonna be fun.
Wonder if we can get Satan to have an alternate for the art.
Wait, now,
That'd be great.
now I gotta find a beard reference.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have made your way into Galeth Say, and you have like kind of made your way down to the docks, and you see that there are humans and lizard folk milling about, moving things from the dock onto a large sailing vessel. And you see that some of the humans have armor similar to the restoration, the people you know. So let's switch over to that map so you can kind of get an idea of what you're looking at. So there is a large sailing vessel, and across the way from where you are, up here at the top, is a warehouse. The doors are open. You see that there are people and crates and various goods inside. The sound is a little bit loud here with the crashing of the waves here in the harbor. So the dock creaks beneath you. So what would you all like to do?
Are we pretty hidden right now or in plain sight?
You're kind of in plain sight, but no one has really like taken notice. There's plenty of people here on the dock besides these folks. There's various fishermen getting in and out of vessels, like doing their thing, bringing in their catch. on other docks, but definitely like the center of attention is this larger sailing vessel.
You said that they were wearing restoration style armor. Is anyone specifically wearing an acid guard armor, or are they different sections of the restoration?
You are looking, and give me a perception check as you're
Yeah.
looking around here.
That should be an 11.
11. Okay, with an 11, most of them are not wearing, they're not wearing acid guard. One of them is, though, even with 11. There is over here on the end of the ship here is one woman. She has kind of like graying blonde hair. She seems kind of uneasy at the top here, but she is wearing acid guard robe or armor, so specifically.
Hmm.
Can you ping that again?
Right here.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay. Well,
Y'all are up here in this part as the kind of path down to this docks took you to right here. So
okay.
Would
First
it
things-
hurt to? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say first things first. Fenn's going to signal silence to the rest of the crew, and she's going to wander carefully over to the corner here, listening in to the building she is navigating to see if there's any particular activity there.
this building appears to be empty, at least devoid of people. It seems like this is this specifically is like a hut for like where the carpenter who works on these ships, where he keeps wherever the carpenter keeps their things. So there's like piles of lumber, various kinds of things to repair ships, but there's no one in there.
Gotcha. Are there any windows into this hut, or is it just kind of...
Yeah, there would be some windows. Well, actually, I would say there is a window, so
Okay,
because they would need light. So
gotcha.
probably where you're
Um,
standing would be the window.
All right, how big of a window is this?
Big enough that you could get through if you wanted to.
Done and done. I am sneaking in there.
Give me a stealth check.
All right. Okay, 11 plus numbers. Hold on. Stealth is... Oh, yeah, 11 plus 11, so 22.
A 22. Yeah, definitely. You can sneak your way in here.
Whee! And I will tell you, the reason that she's doing this is because I've been holding on to some acid guard studded leather since we took it from some other acid guard member. And she is going to make sure she's in a corner where no one can see her, but she's switching into the acid guard outfit real quick.
Amazing. Okay. Easy enough to do.
And then once she's outfitted, she will pop back out the window. Whoop.
Yep, you pop back out. No one is, they are none the wiser. This person here is just kind of like wandering up and down. It looks like he's like kind of keeping lookout. He's not doing a good job. He has not noticed you at all. I mean, with the 22 stealth, I don't think he could have seen you. So,
All right. Fenn is also just going to peek around this corner over here. I know I can see that there doesn't seem to be anybody on this dock, but she is taking a look to make sure that there is no one else on this outcropping of dock right now.
nope, there's no one else here.
Cool. She will swing on back to the group. Boop, boop. And in their heads, she will say, all right, there's no one else in the building. Feel a little bit more confident that I can migrate my way around with this outfit on, potentially. But do y'all have some... You all can disguise yourselves, right?
Merlin was
definitely
just
can.
about to.
You're good. Go ahead.
Merlin was just about to inquire whether if he were cloaked in restoration armor, would they find him suspicious?
It's kind of hard to say. That would depend on the individual you interact with. Um, but it might help.
Merlin whispers into the Whisper Stone and requests restoration armor. Do any of the other adventurers want this?
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You, go ahead.
At the rest of you can disguise yourselves. Trust will respond with no, with the equivalent of 4 question marks.
Hmm.
Why not? The 4 question marks are intriguing.
I'm yeah, my gear does not permit me to disguise myself in a meaningful way. I think I can, whatever we wind up doing, I can hold up the rear as before.
Hmm. Understood. Okay. Well, what I am seeing right now is there seems to be a lot of activity going from this boat over to the building over there, the rather large looking one. Uh, so, and given it's all folks in restoration armor, I'm gonna guess that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if I can't get a little bit closer. DM, is there another building north of the sailing ship or not?
Not really. That's more just like pathway along the coastline here. So
Gotcha. Hmm.
the the other buildings, so like to kind of explain the geography here, Gallus say the town is actually set up a little bit on not like a high cliff, but like a cliff above the harbor here.
Gotcha.
And you had to kind of take a path down to the harbor.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So no matter what, we're gonna be seen on some level. I guess another question is, are there any like portholes on the boat? On the ship, I should say?
You can see that there aren't so much portholes, but there are holes on one of the decks for cannons.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Most of them are closed up right now, but one of them is open. One over here on the side.
Okay. I see an entrance point for the ship. What was Rami's hope here? Are we just investigating or are we doing more?
We were looking for documents specifically.
Oh,
Anything, basically, where the ship might be going was my main takeaway there.
oh goodness, that's gonna be some paperwork that should be on the ship. Okay. Okay, I get to test my swimming skills. That could be fun. Is anyone? I think I can get us. I can get myself onto the ship to look around. Uh, can you all be in position if you hear any commotion on the ship?
Absolutely.
You
I
got
could
it,
also-
Ben.
Mm-hmm.
I basically have the use of a disguise self spell, because I have a what's it called? A masquerade tattoo. So if there's any way that I could disguise self, to be as inconspicuous as possible, that makes it look like, I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah, you've seen plenty of these cultists before, so you can easily disguise yourself as someone you've seen.
Fantastic. I wonder if it's like, is it easier for us just to walk up disguised, or go up there disguised, or do you want to try to sneak around first?
I mean, obviously, if we can all disguise ourselves, that'd be much safer. And I mean, I do have the acid guard thing. I think I see somebody else wearing an acid guard thing. They might have questions for me. I just can't answer. Is my one fear. But
Well, that's my fear too, is if they ask me questions that I don't,
yeah,
have answers to.
but maybe, gosh, if you could disguise yourself to look like a nondescript member of the Restoration and take a peek around the building over there.
Has the Whispering Stone brought restoration armor?
Not that you've seen.
Hmm.
You basically moved the network, but like you don't know when it'll come. Like
I see, I see.
So yeah, I can just sort of move purposefully, like I know
Mhm.
where I'm going and what I'm doing and see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to do that, um, and then Torsten, you and Merlin hold positions ready to go. Keep out of sight, but be listening for commotion. I'll sneak onto the ship. Grief, you go check that building, and we will. Uh, I mean, if anything, be really listening to the ship. I have more confidence in Grief and his ability to sneak than me. Honestly, to move with purpose than my sneaking. But we can see what we can see.
Also, GM, do I know any names of anybody important to throw around? Like if I walk in and say so and so told me I need to such and such, do I have any names like that?
I was thinking about this earlier today, and I don't think there's any important people you've met in the Restoration that you also have not killed.
Oh, cool. Do people know that these people have been killed? Could I be one of them?
Possibly. I mean, we can see. Let me take a look. So, let me pull up my factions here.
Can I disguise myself as a dead important person that maybe
Yeah,
people don't know is dead?
Um, hmm. Let's take a look. What was his name?
It was
There was Jax Fletcher, who died not long ago. Um, he died shortly before the siege of Zarkan. Um, there is there was
well,
Lyrixil, which was the blue draconian that you fought
hmm.
very early on.
Hmm.
Um, probably would match you in size and stature. Um, but he's been dead a while. You don't know how far that got through, and he was kind of a mid-level general. So
Okay.
Uh, there's always Argus. I don't know if that hits too close to home for you, but uh, Argus clearly is attached to them somehow,
Hmm.
and we know he's still kicking.
True.
yeah, there's Arcus Evernoon. There's Cadwin Arma, who was the one who was working in the hatchery. She was running that. Um, she was much higher up in the order than the Blue Draconian. And that's everyone you've seen, with the exception. You've seen Ramirez as well.
Right. So which do we think will be the least questionable? Do we
Ramirez, Ramirez is like an ambassador, like a politician in Vosna, so he would be the most local, uh, which has its benefits and its downsides.
Mhm.
But at least, from what either player would know, he seemed fairly higher up. So it's definitely plausible that he would want updates.
True. Yeah, let's give it a shot.
All right. So you're just disguised as a normal restoration person.
No, I think we'll try to go as Ramirez. I'll leave
Okay.
my chair.
All right. You're disguised as Ramirez Latheran.
Fantastic. So I'm gonna go head toward the big building and poke around.
Okay. I'm gonna have you give me a charisma check, but you can add stealth if you are proficient. So you're not trying to be seen, but you are trying to pretend you are supposed to be here.
Right. And do I need to give you, because it acts as a disguise self spell, there is a DC to discern the disguise.
Oh, good to know. What's the DC?
13.
13. Okay.
Not proficient stealth. So what did you say you want me to give you?
A charisma check.
Just flat 18.
18. Okay. Yeah. You have you don't look nervous. You look like you're supposed to be here. So
All right, great.
yeah, the doors to this building are over here.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's like I've got a lot of like blocked vision.
Yeah.
Do.
Sir, where are you going? The doors are over here. What are you, sir?
Um, these lizard folk kind of look at you, but they don't bother you at all. They don't seem to care that you're walking through.
Cool.
Everyone else here is like, this guy here has like lit up a cigarette and is not looking.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you walk in and there are so many things in here. Just you see one crate being closed up that is just full of gold jewelry. You see one that is just it like contains suits of armor, like a knight's armor. Um, but there are crates and jars, and you can smell of you get whiffs of like strong spices and things like that in here. Just everything in here is incredibly valuable.
Okay.
This person sees you walk in and is going to make an insight check.
Which person? That one? Okay.
This one here.
Cool.
The lizard folk here, they're like 7 feet tall, red and orange crests on their heads. But they don't seem to care that you're here. They're just doing their job. Yeah, doesn't see anything, but like does know that you're not supposed to be here, or like you're not someone he recognizes. He says, "Can I help you with something?"
Yeah, I'm Ramirez, here to get some updates.
You said Ramirez.
Yep.
Um, um, okay, I'll get the boss, and he is going to go do that. He's gonna knock on this door, and he knocks on the door in the back office, and he says, you hear a low grumbling voice say, "What?" And he says, "Ramirez is here." And he says, "Dear, what now?" And the door will open. This guy will stagger back from that. And out walks an 8 foot tall black draconian, this kind of half dragon. He's got like the full set of horns coming forward in the very dragon like head. And he looks down the way, and
So you're saying he's hot, okay?
he's buff. He has got like battle scars. And he's gonna roll insight against your disguise.
Oh,
He
Lord.
rolls a 17.
Oh.
Fuck.
Hey, Grief, don't forget you can let me know in my head if you run into any troubles. I haven't jumped into the
Fantastic.
ship yet.
I was just going to ask if we have that connected. I will be relaying to you as I go what's happening.
And as that happens, he says, "You ain't Ramirez." And he says, "Kill him."
I've been
And-
made.
All right, passing it on to the teammates. Also, oh gosh, what can I do? What? Shoot, I don't have.
Oops, I rolled everyone's initiative. Didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, okay. From my position, which is how far am? Whoa. Nope, that's no, don't do that. Awful.
Yeah, I will let y'all
Okay.
get more in place of where y'all want it to be. So, but I
Okay,
will
so
need initiative from everybody.
for sure. Okay, well that's a pretty good initiative, I'll say that. That was a 20 for Fen.
A 20 for Fen. Okay.
Distinctly not Nat.
I rolled
19 for Merlin.
What for Merlin?
19. Oh,
19?
21 actually.
Oh, okay.
Torson rolled a 2 after a natural 1. Let's see.
Okay, and Grief.
It's gonna be a 5 for me.
Cool. There's a lot of people here. So we'll hit start combat and but yeah, if y'all are trying to do anything first, if y'all want to move your tokens to where you wanted to be when this combat broke out. Why isn't that working?
I am having trouble actually getting access to my token. I'm like locked onto the lady in the acid guard. Like where are oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. Sorry. I would say Merlin, you can probably you still need to probably be in the area unless you are following directly. But yeah,
In
you're
the
probably
area?
you're probably still closer to this side of the ship than the warehouse. As we broke into initiative.
Uh
Yep.
so
Oops. Okay, there we go.
what seems the most dangerous?
And I think while we are doing this, Grief will ask Fen telepathically, do we try to fight or are we trying to get out?
Uh, can, can you get out safely?
Can certainly try.
I would say at the very least get out of the building and we can go from there.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, so this guy is gonna go first. The guy who told everyone to kill you.
Cool.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
yeah, he has a lot going on. Um, pull up his stuff.
Oh my god, I can't do anything for so long.
Yeah. Can he get to you? No, probably not. His speed is he'd have to like move around things. That's difficult. So he's got a speed of 30. He's gonna come right there. And he is going to cast a caustic bolt at you. He's got a +8 to hit, 24 to hit you, Grief.
Yeah, that'll clearly hit.
You take 28 acid damage.
Wow.
So, but that's his turn. That's his full turn. This person here is going to make their way here. Cannot get to you in time. Only has a scimitar. So, but it's going to like get right on you, Grief, with the dash action. Merlin, it is your turn. None of these people outside of the warehouse have reacted yet. So you're still you all out here are still clear. You don't know how much longer that will last though.
See, I'm just doing some measuring. Okay. And which one is the prime opponent?
He's in the building. He's way over here.
Okay, so that's 30, 35. Nope, that not gonna work. Oops.
Yeah, you can move your full speed, and then if you have any ranged spells or anything, you might be able to.
I don't know if the message is getting passed along that I am going to try and get out of here if I can.
Is that allowed? That movement?
That movement, let me see. How far were you from here? Because that is too far. You can get like here with your movement.
Okay. Okay.
And then you
Yeah.
are 105 feet from from this guy, but you have line of sight.
Jeez.
So I don't know if you have anything that has 120 feet range, but
I sure do. Merlin would like to cast Phantasmal Killer.
Mm.
okay. What does he need to do?
Merlin is going to tap into the nightmares of the creature that can be seen within range and will create an illusory manifestation of its deepest fears, and it will be only visible to that creature. They must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, they will become scared and they must succeed on a saving throw, else take 4d10 psychic damage.
Okay. That is a 19 on the save.
Oh.
You can use your portent if you have a low number if you want.
If I have a low number?
Yeah, you rolled those 2d20s earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a low number, you can give that to him to fail this save if you want.
Oh, okay. Merlin will give a 14.
A 14. So that will put him at, he has +4 on this save. That'll put him at
Oh.
18 still. So
Oh.
yeah, you don't have to use it if you don't have a number that'll work. So I'm not going to make you do that. But so what happens if he saves?
See. On a successful save, the spell ends.
Okay, so he manages to resist it.
Yes.
It was a good spell. It was worth a shot. But he just like he like the illusion comes up and he just swipes it away. Like he's not even bothered. He is like, you know, y'all fought a couple of dragons. You know when they've like locked onto their prey, and that's what he looks like. So anything else for you, Merlin? Although I think this guy has now seen you cast a spell, so that's gonna be a problem.
The opponent or a different?
This guy here. Actually, all these people out here have seen you cast a spell.
Oh, nut buddies. Nut
So
buddies.
it is Fenceris's turn.
Yeah, no, that kind of throws things wrench wise. 10, 15, 25. 10, 15, 20, 25. You know what? I'm gonna run up to this guy and then pulling out my new shield and sword. We're gonna do some yeah, no. I'm pretty sure I just heard Merlin cast a spell right up and out in the open, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, my deception was not gonna work in that case. Okay, yep.
Yep. It is verbal and somatic. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do a stealthy little slide move, and as I slide past this dragon claw, I'm a stab with my rapier.
Okay.
My
Yep.
moon touch rapier.
You get to do it at advantage because you were doing it from hidden. So
Woohoo! Oh, the 17's better. Okay, so that was a 25 to hit.
yeah, that'll do.
Nice. All right, 1d8 plus 3d6. Make sure I'm right about that.
Sounds right.
Why are rogue features buried so far? There we go. Okay, so 6 plus another 6 and a 1. 6 plus 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 20. So 20 damage total on that.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
All right. Ha! That was easier than that. And I don't have any more movement. Are there any like boxes where I just rolled up into? I'm guessing not.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say there's definitely like crates and things. So
Okay. Then I'm gonna bonus action hide behind a box.
yeah, awesome.
Yep. Wait a minute. Uh, bad news, Grief. I mean, still get out of that building, but they all know we're here.
Fantastic.
All right, another one here. 20 feet. They all got all these obstacles to come through. So
Now, out of curiosity, Mel, the lizard folk, are they wearing restoration armor? Or
they're not.
are they civilians?
Oh, you haven't seen much lizard folk in civilian life. They tend to keep to themselves. Them being here is a little strange. They're not wearing anything restoration. They do have shinier weapons than they normally carry.
Mm,
They seem to have been equipped by someone, but
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
they're not wearing like the restoration armor or anything like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
What's he got? What weapons do they have? He's just got a heavy club. So
Oh, sorry, wrong club.
you know what? This lizard folk is just gonna he's gonna put down what he was carrying, look around, and wait for someone to tell him what to do. He just saw someone cast a spell, but it's not his he's like, there's things going on. It's not his problem yet, though. So same with this lizard folk here on the ship. He's gonna look up to like this person up here. But nothing's gonna happen that turn. This lizard folk has been told what to do and is gonna come and try and hit Grief. They get multi-attack,
Fantastic.
a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
That is 5 damage.
Okay.
And that's only an 8 to hit. So
That will not hit.
all right. That guy is out of combat. Same with these lizard folks are not gonna go yet. Okay, this guy has this particular cultist has he seems to keep his armor cleaner. He has his hair slicked back. So he has limited flight. It's a bonus action. He gains a flying speed
Oh.
of 30 feet. So I don't know if he can make it to. No. Where can he make it to? He's going to land on the dock over here.
Mm.
As he channels some sort of magic that gives him flight for a moment, and he's going to land over here. And that's his bonus action.
Cool.
He does not have any ranged attacks though, so he's going to hold here. And that guy's dead. Grief, it is finally your turn.
All right, bonus action rage. 17.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Things happen when you rage. I forgot.
they do.
That's right. Wild magic 17. You teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see until your rage ends. You can use this effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action.
Oh, fuck yes. Perfect timing for that. All right. We are coming out here. So I'm right there. Fantastic. And then I will use before I teleport. Can I have said something to that lizard folk in there?
Yeah, of course.
You don't have to follow these guys. 2 gold if you follow me out. And then I'll teleport. And then I'll use my action to dash. So that way I could get the fuck out of here. And I can get way out. So 80. Are we still trying to run or because I can get out 80 feet?
Person's plan is to still try and get something. So Torsten's plans to basically take advantage of the chaos and see if he can get some documentation because we know where the office is.
Okay.
That could go horribly wrong.
And I will say, so I will, yeah, I'm just gonna move like back here. And that way I'm closer to Fen. But I will have said the same thing if I think it's I'm within earshot, like the lizard folk are within earshot of me where I was. So I'll say the same thing to them that I said to the one in there.
What language do you say it in?
Oh shit. I don't think I speak whatever they speak. I would have just said it in common.
Okay. Good to know.
What language do they speak? Would I even know? Do they
Make
have
a
like their own
history check.
language? 18 plus 5.
They speak Draconic.
Okay, well, I did right good. I don't speak Draconic, so that's all I got. And that's yeah, I use my action to move further, so I'm actually gonna come closer to Fen.
Okay. Excellent. So, well, then these guys are just gonna run out onto the dock. And he says something to this Dragonborn in this not Dragonborn, this lizard folk in Draconic, and is going to run down here. And I think that's about as far as he can get. Actually, I don't think he can get that far. Cool.
But could Fen hear what he said?
Oh,
Ben and
yeah,
Lynn both of us would probably
Yeah.
understand.
100%. He just says he just points to you and says, "Kill them." And this lizard folk seems nonplussed about it, but picks up his club, or its club. You can't really tell a lizard folk's gender. So, that guy has not heard the commotion yet. Torsten,
And
it's your turn.
can I have relayed my message that can I relay to Fen that I told these lizard folk what I told
Well,
them? Okay, cool.
You said it
Because
on the
we
way
got the-
past. I heard it. I heard you.
All right, sweet.
I actually, I'm gonna say in your head, I actually have a similar but slightly different message I'm about to shout in Draconic. Don't worry.
Perfect.
All right, Torsten, it is your turn.
Alrighty, so I'm just going to would Grief have been able to see windows in the office warehouse area?
Yes. So you would know that Grief, just to give the layout, the office is back in a walled portion, but there are windows along the walls on the north and south sides.
Cool. So Torsten will use his action to dash. Let me see how far. 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So, okay. And we'll be about here. And he's going to do his best effort to act like he's trying to escape a commotion that he is not involved in. So he's like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here." Run past. And
Okay. Then I'm gonna have you make that same charisma stealth check that I had Grief do.
Excellent. Not proficient in stealth, so flat charisma. Not 20 for 21.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, the guy just sees you run past and doesn't bother you. So
And I think using my my only bonus action is the temp HP thing, which would do the opposite of what I want to do.
Right.
So I think that's my turn for now.
Okay. Yeah, you're stealthing through as if you're trying to get through a commotion. It is currently 9:28. So as much as I know we're not going to play for a while, I don't want to do this combat. I think we're going to be here for a minute. So let's just stop here. We're at the top of a round. So we'll stop there and we'll pick up next time here. Thank you all for joining our game. We'll go ahead and do our outros. Silver.
Hi, everybody. I am Silver_Bulette here on Twitch as well as over on YouTube. You can find all of the back catalog of our Capes and Caverns as it so far stands. We have one season where we were laboratory experiments gone wrong and became superheroes. And then second season has started. We're still in the midst of that, but we are news reporters turned superheroes. Yeah, that's under Silver_Bulette. Also, I just recently put out a new episode of All the Web's a Stage, short play podcast, that can be found wherever podcasts are sold, and that is a 10-minute section of a play that I like to call The Ghost of Gill Manor.
Awesome. Levi.
Hello, I am Levi. You may find me at Levi597 on Twitter. Like the jeans at bluesky.social. You can find my design work at levi-phipps.ish.io. The tabletop RPG Interstitial, the ultimate crossover fan fiction RPG, has a second edition on Kickstarter. So if you want to see what some playbooks of that could look like, I have some first edition ones on that. I also have some Monster Heart skins, including the Ogre, and it's exactly the jokes that you think it is.
Amazing. Tara.
Hello, you can find me here. And that's about it. Thank you for watching.
We appreciate you being here. Jaden.
Hey, I'm Siliqui Jaden. You can find me everywhere online as Fat Sapphic Bro. And then I'm here on Twitch streaming usually Sundays from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m., Mondays from 3 to 6 p.m., and Tuesdays from 6 to 9 p.m., all PST.
Awesome. And I am Mal, aka Archangelic. You can find me here running this game for these wonderful people here. Thank you, wonderful people. You can also find many links for me on my website, archangelic.space. I am also breaking into professional GMing on startplaying.games. If you're interested in having me GM a game for you, check me out. That's startplaying.games/GM/archangelic. If you've missed any of our games, you can check them out on YouTube. The link is in the chat, and it's also in the channel description. We also have a podcast version of this game on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Lastly, thank you to Polyguys for helping us stream this show. We all appreciate you. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you all again for tuning in. We love you, and we hope to see you next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.